What is going on, you guys? Welcome to the Wrestling World Podcast. I'm your host, AJ. And before we get into tonight's video, hit that like and sub button and hit that notification bell for your latest wrestling news, rumors, content, and spoilers. 4th of July is tomorrow, so before we get started, I want to wish everybody a happy 4th of July and a happy 4th of July weekend. Enjoy your cookouts, enjoy your family. I wish you all the best, and I love all of you. On tonight's video, guys, we're going to talk about Kayfabe. And if Kayfabe in wrestling is even a thing. Is Kayfabe dead? Some may even say, that it is. Now, if you don't know what Kayfabe is, guys, I'll give you an example. Say you have an actor. Toss out a name there like Leonardo DiCaprio, Johnny Depp. They play a character, right? Say Johnny Depp is playing, I don't know, I don't watch many Johnny Depp movies, but let's say he's playing Jack Sparrow. Now, we know Johnny Depp is Jack Sparrow in the movie. What if Johnny Depp played Jack Sparrow outside of acting in his personal life? Same thing in wrestling, right? Wrestlers have a character. But what if they were to keep that character on through their personal life, outside of the ring, interviews, stuff like that? That is kayfabe. And so, a lot of wrestlers back in the day, when wrestling was, popular in the 80s, wrestlers, especially the heels, would do that. Story here, Stu Hart. There's a story about Stu Hart, how Stu Hart injured his hand in a storyline, or his arm. He went home, and I don't know, he was getting a package or something, or the mailman came out. So Stu Hart put on the cast and went out to get the mail and greeted the mailman with that cast on his arm. Now that is playing the role, because back then in wrestling, you didn't want to break kayfabe. Wrestling back then was believable. You didn't want to, hurt the business by exposing the business. So wrestlers played at their character. John Cena, most people don't think he has a character. He has a character. You can see much of it now. He's a heel now. MJF, a wrestler that keeps kayfabe alive. Interviews, he's flipping off the camera. He's a heel. He was. I don't know if he's a heel now, babyface, whatever. But he's a wrestler that, that one of the wrestlers out of many that don't do this anymore. And some wrestlers believe they don't have to play their character outside of the ring. They believe that they should have normal lives. They shouldn't have to play a character everywhere they go. I'm a little bit old school, okay? I like keeping kayfabe alive. And I think the wrestlers nowadays should do this. Why? Especially, we live in a generation now where the business has already been exposed. Everybody pretty much knows wrestling's predetermined, that we watch it for entertainment. So what would be the reason for kayfabe, right? Well, for me, it's because I respect the wrestling business, okay? And I respect, I love the wrestlers of the past, the Roddy Pipers, the guys who respected the business, didn't want to expose the business, because like I said just a second ago, you didn't want to do that. You didn't dare say wrestling was fake. You didn't dare, expose the business in any way. Or else, that you were hard to work with. Prime example, Eddie Mansfield exposed the business, exposed the secrets of wrestling. And so he's out of a job. People didn't want to work with him. And so, like, that's why I say I'm old school. I care about the future of pro wrestling. That's why I say kayfabe is important. And most people say, oh, what's fake? It doesn't matter. Why do you watch a movie? Do you watch for the entertainment, or do you watch it because it's real? Same thing. So, just saying. Anyway. But kayfabe to me is not dead. Because there's still wrestlers that do it. Bully Ray even said that John Cena should be doing this, that John Cena as a heel right now should be a heel outside of wherever he goes, instead of doing interviews, instead of meeting fans, instead of being the good guy outside of WWE. I somewhat agree. I mean, when a wrestler is a bad guy or a good guy, and then they're the complete opposite outside of what they are, it's hard to invest yourself in them as a character, and it's hard to invest yourself in anything they do. That's just me. But, whatever. It sucks that we live in a generation where wrestling isn't respected. Wrestling isn't taken serious. Wrestling is just that. It's just wrestling. People don't care for storylines. They don't care for the art craft. They don't care for how much goes into it. They don't care for the history of it. They don't care for those before them. I do. And so the reason I made this video is because I saw this question on Twitter, and somebody said, is kayfabe dead? And it made me start to think to myself, is it really? To me, it's not. Because like I said, there are wrestlers that do it. You just don't see it enough. If they were to bring that back, more people would be invested in the product, in my opinion. But I don't know, it's a touchy subject. I get it. But like I said, I love pro wrestling. And I care for I care for the future of pro wrestling. And when you look at pro wrestling, especially indie events, it's taken as a joke. I get it's entertainment. But when I was a kid, a heel was a heel, a bad guy was a bad guy. This comedy crap they're doing now, it's gone too far. I'm okay with comedy wrestling. I'm okay with humor in wrestling, but like the Young Bucks or like Danhausen even, or like just the stuff that they do is kind of stupid. And you've got so many people on YouTube exposing the business. I don't like that either. I don't like people exposed to secrets of wrestling, of how things are done. But that's just the world we live in today. That's pretty much the reason why I don't really watch Maven Huffman as much as of late, because every day he's exposing something about the business. I don't like that. Respect the business, respect the people that do it. But that's just me. Alright guys, rant over. Like I said, y'all, I hope you guys have a wonderful 4th of July. And I hope you guys have safe travels wherever you go. Please drive safe, drive responsibly. And please take care of yourself. Eat plenty of hot dogs and hamburgers, because as many of you may know, I got my wisdom teeth out, so I can't. So please enjoy that for me. So anyways, guys, have a blessed day. I love you all. Good night. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give me your opinions on this topic below. Do you think kayfabe is dead? Let me know in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe. Good night.